بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. We continue reading from Imam Al-Ghazali's Jawahir al-Quran, the Juz of the Quran, and we have reached Surah An-Naba. Of course, Imam Al-Ghazali skipped many surahs, and he chose 16 verses, beginning with verse 1. And since we talk about 16 verses, we'll just go one by one, or as the context requires. The 16 verses will be there are reminders of the signs in the universe, in the human being, the relationship with these signs, and then out of sudden, number 17, indeed the day of final decision, or Yawm al-Fasl, is an appointed time. And then we have details about what will happen. You talk about eschatological end of time scenarios. So the first verse, عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون. What are they asking one another about? About the momentous news, about the great news over which they disagree. Just think about as a context here, we have the Prophet ﷺ being chosen as a prophet, as a messenger, after 40 years of impeccable personal traits, ethics, morality, being described as Al-Amin in Mecca, known in Arabia as the trustworthy. Think about Hercules asking Abu Sufyan radiallahu anh, before he became a Muslim in Jerusalem. He asked him about the Prophet ﷺ, whether he was known to have lied. And Abu Sufyan said no. It was not a moment that the Abu Sufyan would stab the Prophet ﷺ because of the context, just simply to destroy the reputation of the Prophet ﷺ, because he couldn't also. But this is something that about the Arabs, subhanallah. In general, in pre-Islamic Arabia, yes, it was an age of ignorance, jahiliyyah, but there were things that were absolutely beautiful. They wouldn't lie, they wouldn't betray. I'm not saying that every person, but they in general, and they were the utmost generous people. And they still are. They still are. I mean, there's something beautiful about this. I remember when Ehud Barak became the Prime Minister of Israel, he established a very large press office, working 24/7, very large. So any shift would include tens of people. But he said, even then, he said that they cannot beat the Palestinians in the area of journalism. Not that the Palestinians themselves would be the journalists in this case, though they do have, and you can see how they have been targeted in the genocide that is still unfolding, unabated genocide in the Gaza Strip. Ehud Barak said that the Palestinians would open their home to the journalists, to the foreign journalists. And there are many of them, meaning that they are generous. And what is implied is that they don't have this. So So the Prophet ﷺ was chosen. You know many details about the first revelation, how Lady Khadija, his wife, رضي عنها, she took him to her cousin, Waraqa bin Nawfal, a monotheist, who told him this is the nomos that was sent to Prophet Moses. He told him, other things. And the Prophet had, of course, now he's a prophet. He had no choice but to go and proclaim. And he began by checking their trust, his people's trust in Mecca. He told them, if I tell you there's an army behind this mountain, would you believe me? And they said, yes. Then he told them, well, I have been chosen as a prophet. So here we have the warner also, because the chapters that were revealed in Mecca, the verses that were revealed in Mecca were about faith, about the hereafter, about the world of the unseen. Really, it was establishing belief and character. So this is the great news, if you will. They are amongst themselves. They started talking about the prophecy of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Some of them believed. Some of them, of course, disbelieved, and this is why الذي هم فيه مختلفون, they have disagreed about where they stand. Verily, indeed, but no, they will come to know. Then again, no, they will come to know. كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون. They will come to know the end result, the fruit of their position, the punishment that they will face if they deny this message, but also the second, ثم كلا سيعلمون, then they will know the truth, validity of what the Prophet ﷺ has brought to them. And this is a threat to the disbelievers then, but also the disbelievers anytime. Now there are now reminders about the signs in the universe. And the first one, have we not smoothed out the earth? Really making the land, the earth, livable. There are certain places on this earth that have mountains, massive mountains, that are not meant for living. Say the Alps, the Himalayas, etc. These mountains are made, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them as pegs, P-E-G-S, stabilizing the earth so the tectonic plates would stay put بإذن الله عز وجل. Otherwise, will the earth crust will be shaking all the time. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the land, the earth, livable, smooth. Of course, there are places that are more appropriate for living than others, but nevertheless, you can see that human beings live in even in extreme, conditions. But that will not be where civilization established themselves, and this might be also the reason why we have civilization in Mesopotamia, in Iraq and Syria, Palestine itself. Palestine is the Palestine is where the oldest agricultural settlement in the world uh, has been found. To date, no older agricultural settlement. I will talk about 12,000 years ago. Rest assured, there were no Zionists then, and whoever lived in this land, they have outdated the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims um, by almost 9,000 years. So the Palestinians have been living. In fact, one can go further back in history to the caves of Haifa on the Mediterranean, where you have human remains and that date back to 40,000 years ago, and there could be something else. This area is conducive for establishing civilization coveted by many, obviously, until today. So, making the land livable, smooth, the mountains, pigs, and created you in pairs. وَخَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. Subhanallah, we have been created in pairs, and we need the pairs to procreate uh, halal way, of course, and that's how things should be. You destroy this natural order. The Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted us to establish families, and we have conditions for marriage in Islam that we should fulfill. Say, for example, the marriage should be known to the community. That's one thing. The family should be involved. That would prevent all these uh, people misunderstand the role of the family uh, in marriage, in facilitating the marriage. There should be a dowry, a gift that the husband gives to the wife. And remember, from an Islamic point of view, the husband, the man, is responsible for the welfare of the family. His money is their money. Her money is her money in the absolute sense. Many other details, but the idea is we and created you in pairs. So you have the setting, the land, and we will reach basically uh, things that are necessary for life, such as water. But something beautiful here is mentioned, and made your sleep for rest. وَجَعَلْنَا نَوْمَكُمْ سُبَاتًا وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا, and made the night as a cover, and made the day for livelihood. These, you have night, you have day. Seek your sustenance during the day. We know that there are professions that need to be maintained. You talk about the police, then we have to have police. In the at night we need to have firefighters. At night we need to have surgeons and nurses and medical staff at night at hospitals. But you don't need to schedule a cosmetic surgery in the middle of the night. If there's an emergency, that's different. Some might say you are arguing against development or progress, or I've been to many countries, Western countries. I've been to Germany, and I have seen how they by 6 o'clock practically everybody closes. Weekend, the stores are closed. Uh, they have something else in their life. There is family. There's social aspect. There is you. Compare this to a small neighbor. It's basically an independent town, but it's almost like a neighborhood of Jerusalem, but it's really behind the separation apartheid wall. Bethany, people continue to open the stores sometimes until midnight or even beyond that point. This would cause neglect to families. There is no need. Um, Absolutely, there is no need. Here we have Germany is a successful, more or less, a successful country in terms of uh, economics. It was destroyed during World War II, but then it stood on its feet again. Uh, and there's nothing for those who would like to be creative, for those who would like to be productive. There's nothing like a good night sleep. There's another aspect. Here it's about the night, associating night with sleep, with cover, with slowing down, replenish your energy in all senses, allow your body to recover, and also your brain. Uh, and if you sleep early, definitely you'll, as a Muslim, non-Muslims today, when they speak about successful people, they say they wake up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They meditate as part of their daily rituals. Well, think about it. Aren't Muslims? Didn't Muslims do this through and through for 14 centuries? Don't we get up at dawn? And before that, subhanallah. And built above you 7 mighty heavens, the universe. Okay. A magnificent creation, orderly, accurate, beautiful, amazing, and just reading about the details of the universe, seeing these pictures that come from the through the couple of telescopes that we have uh, orbiting uh, um, the older one being the Hubble, named after the scientist. It's an amazing universe, subhanallah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the next verse creating a shining lantern, وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. It's one of these stars. Our sun is one of the stars, a source of light. The moon, on the other hand, reflects this light, nur, but here it is siraj. وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. It is burning. So light is there, land is there, day and night, and now it's time for rain, and send down from rain clouds pouring water. وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا لنخرج به حبا ونباتا. Sun, water, livable earth. Now we talk about producing grain and various plants. لنخرج به حبا ونباتا. And dense orchards. وجنات ألفافا. This is the end. The end, not of the surah. This is where it ends in terms of Imam Al-Ghazali's choice of jewels, the 16 jewels that he chose. So we have the earth being fixed by these mountains as pigs. You have the night to rest. You have the day to spread out and seek sustenance. Tending to your own business, your own benefit, and the sun is providing us with light and warmth, so that use we will benefit from this. The animal kingdom will benefit from this. The plants, all of these, the sun is absolutely necessary. This is not the time to talk about the some details about photosynthesis, but rest assured that subhanallah, um, whether it's agriculture, whether we do need the sun, but at the same time, uh, there is day and there is night, meaning without the sun. Uh, the next few verses, the narrative shifts from these signs, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us about all these beautiful things that He bestowed on us, on humanity. We should basically be thankful. We should remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because on any sign in nature has the stamp of being created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why in then number 17, indeed the final decision, day of final decision, day of fasl, is an appointed time. Inna yawm al-fasli kana miqata. All this that you see will come to an end. On that day, the trumpet will be blown, and you will all come forth in groups and crowds. يوم ينفخ في الصور فتأتون أفواجا. The sky will be split open, becoming becoming gates, becoming many gates. The universe, the natural order, will be disrupted. And one of the things that we will see immediately in our surroundings, if you are surrounded by mountains, you see the mountains being blown away, becoming like a mirage. وَسُيِّرَتِ الْجِبَالُ فَكَانَتْ سَرَابًا. There was once, talk about mountains. There were mountains, of course, and there is no reality for the mountain. Think about the other verses in the Qur'an, for example, كالعهن المنفوش, like fluffy wool. And I said this before, that it means that the gravitational forces are not working anymore. Think about يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات, that the earth will be substituted, it will be changed to something else, to another ayah, and also the heavens. So the skies will be split open. That not that it is closed. It's about you'll see what you did not see from before. And in another verse in the Quran, the sky will become rosy in color, and ultimately hellfire is waiting, is in ambush. إن جهنم كانت مرصادا. يرصد, we use it in scientific context, but also in other human activities. And as if there's like a personification of hellfire, as if hellfire is keeping track of those people. Uh, an anthropomorphic equality, if you will, not that the hellfire. It's a metaphor for it is waiting. Waiting for whom? It is waiting for the taghin, for the transgressors. It's a home. This is the abode of the transgressors, where they will stay. They will remain for ages, really endless ages, where they will taste its eternity. Okay, and this life compared to eternity, to infinity, it's almost like zero. Divide this life, divide 100 years by infinity, 120 by infinity, whatever is the number. They will not taste any coolness, nor a drink, nor a normal drink, because they will have uh, hot drinks that will cut through their intestines, except boiling water and oozing pus, حميمة وغساقة, a fitting reward, جزاء وفاقة, إنهم كانوا لا يرجون حسابا, for they never expected any reckoning, وكذبوا بآياتنا كذابا, and totally rejected our signs, وكل شيء أحصيناه كتابا, and we have everything recorded precisely, فذوقوا فلن نزيدكم إلا عذابا. So the deniers will be told, taste the punishment, for all you will get from us is more torment. The narrative now shifts to the pious, the righteous, those who heeded the call, those who believed and did good deeds. They worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For them, for the righteous, for them, they will have salvation. So the salvific value in Islam, the cornerstone for the salvific value is Tawheed. You talk about pure monotheism. You don't associate anything or anyone with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Believing in all the messengers, all the books, and believing in the books also entails. We talk about the original revelations. Um, we believe in all the prophets. We believe in from Adam alayhi salam all the way to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon them all, including Noah, Abraham, Moses, Musa alayhi salam, Jesus Christ, peace upon him, and Prophet Muhammad. We have 25 names in the Quran directly mentioned, and believing that there are others as well, the books, but also believing that they have suffered from the vagaries of transmission, altered somewhat. So for the believers, for the righteous, there will be salvation, gardens, vineyards, حدائق وأعناب وكواعب أترابا, and full bosom maidens of equal age, أترابا, وكأسا دهاقا, and full cups of pure wine. It's everything is going to be different. So no drunkenness, no side effect, if you will, no hangover, and nothing of the social problems that are associated with this. Sometimes they say the social drinkers of today are the alcoholics of tomorrow. A non-Muslim lawyer from New York that I have known for many years, and he writes beautifully about Islam. He said that there was once this person who got rid of the problem of alcohol long time ago, and he was referring to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In fact, all just to give an example, I don't think that there is an exception in the case of our kids. We have never spoken to our kids about alcohol. It's haram, and that's it. There was never a problem. Alhamdulillah. I don't. I'm not. All the youngsters in the extended family, in the neighbor, there is no such a problem. It doesn't mean that there are no Muslims who drink. I'm saying that in general, we don't have the same problem as in the West. We don't have the, you know, uh, we don't have drunk driving the way they have. Maybe 3 out of 10 on the road in the United States are drunk. We don't have that. We don't have that. And I hope that we'll continue to live by our own, faith and worldview and culture. It's rich, and I hope that all cultures would resist the homogenization, if you will, so that we will all. It's going to be very boring if everyone ate burger and wore jeans, especially the torn apart jeans, and it's very poor culture. And then the best part, not the best part, of course, but it's a beautiful part. They will hear no idle talk or lying there in paradise. And that's really a reward, a fitting reward from a generous gift, really, from your Lord, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and everything in between, the most compassionate. No one will dare speak to him. And on that day, on the day, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Archangel, the angels, the Archangel Gabriel, they will stand in ranks. No one will talk except those granted permission by the most compassionate, and those and whose words are true, because the non-believers, they produce fake news in this life about faith, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about God, about politicians seem to lie endlessly, like breathing for them, and they made life unbearable on earth. On that day, they will not be permitted. That day is the ultimate truth. ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا. So let whoever wills take the path leading back to their Lord. They have been warned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned them. Indeed, we have warned you of an imminent punishment. The day every person will see the consequences of what their hands have done, and the disbelievers will cry, I wish I were dust. And that's not up to them. With this, we conclude a beautiful chapter, and the next one, inshallah, will be from Surah Abbas, 16 verses as well. But while Imam Al-Ghazali ended the first selection of Surah Naba with verse 16, here it begins with verse 17. Subhanallah. Until then, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.